And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go. 30 base.
Check 41. Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Hey, echo.
41 Mike. All right, D, let's go. All right, D. He's checking.
Fair.
Crash.
Hit it.
On first down, Fitzgerald. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Ready? 70, Indy.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Watch recon, 132 fighter. Right. Let's go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Get it.
From the 39, Fitzgerald. He's got Fuller. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Complete to Will Fuller.
Tighten up.
Coaching spill.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Check. Hey, 4-1's Mike. Watch the
Go.
Mike 41.
5.
Off play action. Fitzgerald. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check 43.
Deep river.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
60 or.
Check 41. Rip left. Switch.
Shakes 3. 218, chopper. And ready.
On third down, Johnson. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's just me and you. Kill. Hey, 55. Hey, eat.
Fournette running out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
What we got? Kill.
Operating from the gun. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Fitzgerald. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fitzgerald. Pass incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game. Brandon, never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 15, check 15.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. From the gun, King. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Still's the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Check pass, check pass.
Buzz. Greystone, travel.
I'm coming after you. 41's the Mike, 41's the Mike.
Let's go.
On 3rd and 2, Fitzgerald. He finds his man Johnson. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get it.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On 2nd and 9, Fitzgerald. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot. You know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watch him. Watch the twist.
King Looking to throw on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 47 yards. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got it first and goal at the 6. They'll try to run for it with Fournette. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Second and 9 now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Texans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Fitzgerald. He gets this one to Johnson. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Jet bomber.
Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on 1st down. Fitzgerald. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 28-yard
The
line.
last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Now Leonard Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Fournette. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now King from the gun, he'll throw. Forced, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Wide, get wide. Banjo. 55's Mike, guys.
2nd and 15. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
You better be afraid of me. Check your hot read.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And an alley to run. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 17-3. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, wahoo!
2nd and 4. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Hey, Haywood! Get it!
Off play action. Fitzgerald. Complete. It's Johnson. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Ready? 90, Wolf!
Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Fournette, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Check 55, Mike. Man, I got you.
third down, Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 23. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A gain of 32 that time. On 1st and 10, Fitzgerald. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33, 30, 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Yo, 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 yo.
Recon, 132 fighter.
4-1's Mike, 4-1's Mike.
2.
On 1st down, Fitzgerald. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Back to the air on 2nd down. Fitzgerald. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He finds his target, Fuller. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Texans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Mike, 41. Mike.
Off the play fake. Fitzgerald steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Let's go now. 10-2 stop.
Here we go.
Now.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Come again.
Get it.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 13-yard line.
Brings up
third and 2.
Rush in. Rush in. Rush in.
Bravo.
41's coming. 41's a mic. Here we go, D.
On 3rd and 2, Fitzgerald, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
We want it. Come to my work. Check 55 to mine. Check.
Looking to throw. King. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Topper. Ready?
Throwing after the interception. Fitzgerald. It's complete to Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Texans cut into that lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
From the gun, Fitzgerald. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Now Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go,
Back to throw. King. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Throwing on 1st down. Fitzgerald. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Here we go. 30 base.
Check.
Hey.
Roy. 41, Mike. 41.
Go.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Mike 41.
Record. 41.
Go.
Check.
Go.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzgerald over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Hey, Orbit.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here.
Put up. Hit it.
Off play action. Fitzgerald. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Fitzgerald throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Get it.
Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
He's coming. We got double up.
Fournette running right. And some room to roam now. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
Here we go.
A big run by the big man Fournette, 46 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. To throw is King on 1st and 10. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
This is Fournette. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, it's Edwards. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
You got it. You got it.
38. Texans 14.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these stacks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spin. Made it, kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the red dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Well, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support pride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big
chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase up the rings. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the rings. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the rings. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes.